What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports, and for people that are watching on the painted lines. Wow, the Phillies actually did not blow a game. I am surprised. It got down to the wire. It definitely did. Ninth inning, 2-run shot to make it a 4-3 game. Man, how close to cutting into embarrassment are we? Every single night. We're not going to talk about last night. We're not. Maybe a little bit because you know how embarrassing it was, and also the weekend games that I wasn't able to cover. I wasn't able to watch those games, but still. Blown leads after blown leads after blown leads. And thankfully today it did not happen. It almost did, but it didn't happen. For now. Until it happens again. For tonight, it didn't happen. So the Phillies, they beat the Miami Marlins by a score of 4-3. They take the first game of the series. And major takeaways from this game, Vince Velasquez was actually excellent in this game. His best performance in who knows how long. I think Tom McCarthy said in the 7th inning, when Vince Velasquez got the first out of that 7th, it was his first out recorded in the 7th inning since 2019. Jeez. So this is Vince Velasquez's best start in a while. Now, do I expect it to get any better? No. Because Vince Velasquez, he is who he is. He had a really good game today. Do I expect to get? No, I just don't. I don't at all. But I'll give credit where credit is due, and Vince Velasquez put the Phillies in a great position to win this ball game. The Phillies offense really wasn't doing much. Okay, they got the 1 run in the first inning, and quiet the rest of the ball game. This entire game, they had a whopping 3 hits. They did walk a lot, though. They got on base a lot, but they never managed to move those runners at all, besides the ones in the first inning. Not really. And then you get into later in the ball game, Odubel Herrera drives in a run, a wild pitch scores the 4th run as well, but still, not many hits in this ball game, not hit when runners in scoring position. But hey, you still managed to score 4 runs regardless in this game. You also got top of the first inning, Rhys Hoskins actually making a nice defensive play in foul territory, almost falling over the fence in foul territory. But hey, according to Rhys Hoskins, we have to talk about the positives, focus on the positives. Well, hey, Rhys Hoskins did a positive thing here. He actually did 2 positive things in this game. He did. Hitting a home run in that bottom of the 6th inning. But pretty much, I would say the entire game, besides like the pitching duel from Trevor Rogers and Vince Velasquez, I would never think I would say that ever in my life. But hey, yeah, it was definitely a pitching duel, and Phillies couldn't do anything. The Marlins couldn't do anything. Both pitchers were going, and honestly, it was a pretty boring game. The game was going quickly, I would say, throughout half of it. Then you get to the later half, and then people start fouling off a ton of pitches. And then the other innings happen where the Phillies are actually scoring runs. The Marlins try to do damage in the 8th inning by getting the bases loaded. You think the Phillies are going to blow this goddamn thing. Connor Brogdon doesn't look sharp early, but he does get 2 strikeouts. For some reason, Joe Girardi elects to go to Jose Alvarado to face Jazz Chisholm for some reason, even though earlier in the season, Jazz Chisholm hit a home run off of Alvarado earlier in the year. So I don't understand that mind process. Why not just leave I can understand it's the lefty-lefty matchup. You want to try to get that in there, but still. It eventually did not work because you walked Chisholm, and you eventually get the wild pitch that scores the run for the Marlins in that 8th inning. But he does get out of it, though. And he has to pitch the rest of the 9th inning. First batter gets on. Then the home run. Stress, I think, is what I'm trying to describe. What I am talking about, I would say the Phillies for the past couple of days, the past week, I would say, the past week and a half, it just felt like that. It's felt like that, and we're living that reality. It's not fun. It's not entertaining. It's frustrating. It's annoying. It's agonizing. It's probably any word that you could just describe that's annoying. And that's what the Philadelphia Phillies are right now, and probably what they have been the entire season. So, at least they got the win. And it didn't turn into the monstrosity that was last night in Cincinnati. Thankfully, it didn't turn into that. So, going to the bottom of the first inning, Phillies get a couple of base runners on. Gene Segura gets on. Bryce Harper gets on. They both get on with walks. Andrew McCutchen, it's weird seeing him in the cleanup spot. It just felt weird. And then, no, actually, he wasn't in the cleanup spot. He was in the 5th hole. If for some reason I was like looking at the lineup and I'm like, I forgot there was another batter in this inning, and I thought Andrew McCutchen was the cleanup hitter. So that's what processed in my mind. But no, he's the 5-hole hitter. And he gets the RBI single to make it a 1-0 Phillies lead in that first inning. There's other chances to score runs. You got Rhys Hoskins in the 6th hole in this game. Doesn't get anything going there. Nothing really happens for the Phillies. They get a couple of walks. Can't cash anything in. Vince Velasquez doing his thing. He retired 13 in a row in this ball game, going towards the end of his start. I'm trying to figure out when that 13 in a row started. It started in, I would say, around the end of the 3rd inning, going into that end of the 7th inning. That final out of the 3rd, going into the final out of the 7th inning is where he retired 13 straight batters. So Vince Velasquez was just, I would say, on another level in this ball game. Another level for Vince Velasquez, I would say, his standards. He was good. He was really good. Shut down the Marlins. Retired 13 in a row. He put the Phillies in a good position. And one run for Vince Velasquez was apparently enough for him. But then the Phillies, they managed to tack on a little bit more runs. Go to bottom of the 6th. Phillies get the first couple of outs in the inning, but then Rhys Hoskins gets the bat right there, and he hits a home run. Another positive thing for Rhys Hoskins to mention, into the stands to make it a 2-0 Phillies lead. We go into the bottom of the 7th inning. Phillies got a couple of base runners on. Brad Miller got on with a walk. Odubel Herrera gets an RBI double to the right center field gap, pinch hitting for Luke Williams, and he makes it a 3-0 Phillies lead. JT Realmuto, he gets on with a walk, but then during that entire situation, it was during the Gene Segura at bat, I believe, he did strike out, but there was a wild pitch that allowed Odubel Herrera to get over because there were 2 wild pitches sequences in that one at bat. One that got him to 3rd, and one that allowed him to score. So it's a 4-0 Phillies lead after the bottom of the 7th inning. Then we go into the 8th. Scary. Birdie walks. He steals second base. Okay, you get Alfaro to strike out, and you get Sierra to strike out. So Brogdon, after that first walk, he strikes out the next 2 batters, and there was a sequence before those 2 strikeouts that got JT walking up to the pitcher's mound, even asking Brogdon, "Hey, are you okay?" Because he did not look good in that first at bat. But he got the second 2 batters out. But then full count to Garrett Cooper, works a walk. In comes Joe Girardi for the mound visit, takes Brogdon out, brings in Jose Alvarado, walks Jazz Chisholm to load the bases. And then a wild pitch in the next very at bat to Starling Marte, and it's a 4-1 Phillies lead. And the entire Phillies country is basically like, here we go again. Here we go, where the bullpen is going to blow the game for the Phillies. But Alvarado got the final out of the inning. Only escaped 1 run. Choked up on my words right there. So, going to the bottom of the 8th. Phillies don't do anything. Nothing really going there. Alvarado comes back for the top of the 9th inning. Aguilar gets on with a single. And then Adam Duvall hits a home run to dead center field, which makes it a 4-3 ball game. And in comes the internal screaming, the external screaming, whatever you want to do in reaction to this, because it's a 1-run game and there's no out in the top of the 9th inning. Are we going to go through this again? But no, because Alvarado actually gets the next 3 batters out. Jesus Sanchez grounds out, Birdie grounds out, and Alfaro strikes out swinging. And Alfaro had to make it a battle of an at-bat, fouling off literally every single 100-mile, 101-mile-an-hour fastball that Alvarado pumped right down the middle of the plate. But he eventually got him to strike out. I think it was on a slider, and the Phillies win. Stress. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. This is so unwatchable. It is so unwatchable. It's not fun. It's agonizing. The only thing that was watchable today was Vince Velasquez. And literally, that's the last thing I want to say coming out of my goddamn mouth. But that was the only thing that made this game watchable today. It was bad. The offense was piss poor. Thankfully, they scored those extra insurance runs that they hadn't have needed to make it 4-0. Because, the bullpen was probably going to blow that lead regardless. So, going to the box score. Luke Williams, he was in the leadoff position today, batting for Odubel Herrera. He goes 0 for 3, but then Odubel Herrera eventually came into the ballgame for that pitch hit opportunity, got that RBI double, went 1 for 1. Gene Segura goes 0 for 2 with a run and 2 strikeouts and also a walk. JT Realmuto goes 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. Bryce Harper goes 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. Andrew McCutchen goes 1 for 4 with an RBI and 2 strikeouts. Rhys Hoskins goes 1 for 4 with an RBI on the solo shot in the 6th inning. Alec Bohm goes 0 for 1 with 3 walks. So I would say a pretty decent night for Alec Bohm, getting on base a few times. Ronald Torreyes, he goes 0 for 3. Vince Velasquez goes 0 for 1. Brad Miller had an at-bat in a pinch hit situation. He walked in that at-bat. And if we look at the Phillies' pitching stats, Vince Velasquez, 7 innings, 2 hits allowed, and 7 strikeouts. Basically, what more can you ask from him? He was excellent tonight. He was pure perfection. Retired 13 in a row to finish out his outing. Vince Velasquez was probably the main reason you won this ball game. Maybe actually scoring those extra runs because the bullpen probably would have blown it regardless, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Connor Brogdon didn't finish the 8th inning. He only pitched 2/3 of that inning. 1 hit, 1 earned run, and a couple of strikeouts. Jose Alvarado came in, pitched the inning in the 3rd for the save. 2 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and the home run allowed in that top of the 9th inning. Phillies, they were 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position, and they left 7 total runners on base. And Trevor Rogers for the Marlins, he had a pretty good outing for himself as well. Only went 5 2/3 innings though, allowed 2 hits, 2 earned runs, walked a lot of people. He walked 4, 9 strikeouts, and the home run allowed to Rhys Hoskins. And also Bender, he was coming into this game not allowing a run all season, and the Phillies cashed him in for 2 runs. So he did not look himself either, but hey, the Phillies managed to get to, I guess, one of the better relievers in the game this year. So I guess, according to Rhys Hoskins, it's positive. So, it's a positive. The Phillies win this game. I'll talk about it positively because we are only supposed to focus on the positives. So, okay, Rhys Hoskins, we can focus on the positives for today. But going into the rest of this series, got tomorrow's outing. You got Holloway going up against Aaron Nola. Tomorrow's 7:05. And then for the final game of this series on Thursday, which is at 6:05, a weird start time, it's going to be Lopez going up against Zach Eflin. So it's going to be important for the Phillies to get a couple of wins in this series, hopefully just to find a way to bounce back from the ugliness that was this weekend, because, you know, you kind of should have sweat the mutts after all those leads are blown. And also, you should have won that game against the Reds, but you know the bullpen imploded once again. So, try to salvage whatever you can. That's all I'm asking. My hopes aren't high. They're just not. Because it's just been an embarrassing week and a half for Phillies baseball. And especially since in Philadelphia, this is the only sport that the city has so far now. With no Sixers. Football is still a ways to go. Flyers, although they're also ugly as well, there's still a ways to go to coming back. I think the only thing that'll make this city happy is that the Sixers actually pull off a trade that can help this team. I think that's the only thing that's going to make this city happy, because right now, being a Philadelphia sports fan is a bunch of misery. It's painful. It's very painful right now, because all of our sports teams just make us want to cry. They do. They do. And if we look at the rest of the Phillies schedule this upcoming week, they don't have an off day until the All-Star break. So the rest of the schedule, as my app currently messes up, so we look into July, rest of the schedule going into the All-Star break. I don't know why it's bringing me 2019. I have no idea why in hell this is doing that. So we go to this weekend. You got these last 2 games up against the Miami Marlins. We got a weekend series against the San Diego Padres, which, good luck there. Good luck win that. I don't expect the Phillies to beat the Padres at all. I just don't. And then you have a 4-game series on the road next week going up against the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. And then you'll have your final series before the All-Star break at Fenway Park against the Boston Red Sox. Yeah. After this series against the Marlins, it does not get any easier. And if the Phillies put on that shit show last week, oh man, I can't imagine what it's going to be like against San Diego, against Chicago, against Boston. Can't imagine it. I can't imagine it whatsoever. Going to the standings real quickly. So the Phillies, they jump into third place with this win over the Marlins. They are 37 and 40. The Nationals, they just continue to win ball games, and Kyle Schwarber just continues to hit bombs. They are 39 and 38 over the 500 mark in second place, and the Mets, they are still in first place at 41 and 34, and the Braves drop to fourth place at 37 and 31. So, positives. Only focusing on the positives. That's all I'm going to do. That's all I'm going to do. So I guess on a positive note, I am going to end this video here. So I want to hear all of your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below. Don't forget to leave those there. Don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. And if you're viewing this on my channel, don't forget to check out the Painted Lines. All of their stuff is going to be in the description below. If you're viewing this on the Painted Lines, definitely come here and subscribe at TTP Sports. It is a fun time. We can all be angry. We can all be mad together. Come, join the family. Also, don't forget to check out Broad's Media, Twitter account, website. Check out those links below. Also, the links for Flyers Nitty Gritty and for the Florida Pod merchandise website, they are all in the link below in the description. A lot of links. Definitely go check all of those out. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, everyone. And I will see you next time.